A few moments later. Much later. Approximately 10 hours later. Many unbearable hours later. Meanwhile, later in the void. That same evening.